What if I told you that the changes in midlife that you're seeing aren't just random and they're not about getting older? The hair that won't cooperate, the skin that suddenly looks so different, the weight that doesn't play by the old rules anymore, even the way you think and feel about yourself is shifting. It's all connected. And most women are trying to fix it the old way, which is exactly why it's not working. So today we're breaking it down: hair, skin, weight, makeup, what's actually happening in your body, and what you can do that actually works. Hi, Manel.
Hi, how are you?
Good. It's great to be here again.
Yes, and it's getting cold again.
I know
So,
this weather's been crazy up and down. That's why so many people are getting sick.
so we're on the East Coast, and when we're filming it now, 2 weeks ago, it was 80 degrees, and this morning is a freeze warning. So it's crazy.
I know, it really is. So, listen, I wanted to talk today about all the changes that are happening to us in midlife. And I'm talking about reinvention, but not about the choices that we make. We can reinvent ourselves when we're deciding on changing careers or relationships or friends. But I want to talk more about the things that are happening that we can't change, that are happening, and how to deal with them and why they're changing. The things like our weight or, our makeup, our skin, our hair, all of those things that are changing that we kind of don't have any choice about, and how we can sort of get through it and why it's happening.
Exactly. And I think a lot of people just don't understand why it's happening. And that's what's the frustrating part about it. People are just so confused and they're trying these same old things, and it's just frustrating. So today we're trying to break down that old habit stigma and trying maybe to give people some answers of clearly what is going on and maybe the underlying factors, and move on from there and what to do about it.
Right, great. Because, you and I, we're both going through it.
Exactly.
We're both in midlife, we're both out of menopause, and our bodies, our skin, everything is changing, and it's frustrating.
It feels like a circus that's going on and we have no control out of it. It's a
No
little
control.
no
It's
control.
quite frightening, really.
It really is. But so okay, so let's start with hair.
Okay.
So a lot of people find the hair is it's just going every which way. It's gone crazy. We don't know what to do and why it's changing so dramatically.
Right. Well, our hair is, I notice for me, it's starting. I mean, I'm lucky, still got a lot of hair, but it is definitely starting to thin out. And I'm noticing it's frizzy. Oh, the frizz. I mean, I'm even going for a keratin this week around my hairline just to, help with the frizz. And it's frizzy and flat. Like, what's going on?
I think it's a factor. A lot of drivers going into the fact that the hormones, estrogen and progesterone, are lowering, and that's a big part of why our scalp health and our hair is thinning out as we age, and we also losing a lot of hair around the temple area. So I went through a couple of years where I literally been cutting my hair. Like I look like a crazy person because my hair is naturally curly. And so the top, every time I go to a hairstylist and they wash my hair, my top is curly, my bottom is straight as an arrow. I mean,
Wow.
like from my ears down. And they're like, oh, you had like, your hair was processed. I'm like, no, that's just, they're like, what? I look like a crazy person. So I
Right.
can't even wear it now normally. So I didn't understand until I did. It
Right.
was a factor of perimenopause and menopause because my estrogen
Right.
and progesterone have lowered and the keratin in my hair has changed so dramatically. So the texture of my hair has changed and it's thinned out.
Right. And I know that when your hormones drop, your hair sheds more, but it also grows back thinner as well.
Yes, very, very thin. And it's sad, but it's sort of like it's the scalp health. So think of it as bad soil for a plant. So when the soil isn't healthy, the plant's not going to grow healthy. So our soil, our scalp, our oil production is lowered. So we need to treat that with internal factors. A lot of people are going to, creams and stuff. That's great, but that's not dealing with the beneath the surface problem.
Right. Well, because, I see these advertisements on television and I have friends trying all these things, the Nutrafol vitamins or the minoxidil for the hair. So, I mean, they can definitely help. And I've seen some women have, great results
Results,
with
yeah.
doing those. But how do we help it internally? What should we be doing?
I think internally we need to look at protein intake. So protein is approached for everything in our body, but our skin health and our scalp health, our hair health is protein intake. So protein intake, again, hair is made out of keratin and it needs protein. So we have to up our protein intake. Our vitamin intake also, iron and vitamin D. That is also a big proponent of hair health.
Definitely. I want to say something about that. Get your ferritin checked because my ferritin was incredibly low. And I know a lot of hematologists say they like women to be over 50. I was actually a 7. But a lot of women are saying that even below 70, they're finding that their hair is falling out. So I think that's really important. Get your ferritin and your iron levels checked.
I think you should get your vitamin panel basically checked, but vitamin D and iron and ferritin are very important. Also, this again, scalp health. Be gentler on the scalp with, like you said, the products. Be very gentle with products because products are, as we age, a little different. They're a lot harsher. Also, the way we style our hair, heat has a big proponent too. It's like you're breaking thinner hair, so be very gentle with that too.
And also, for women who are getting their hair colored and processed, they really have to, it's a catch-22 because, a lot of women are getting gray, so they're trying to sort of
oh my God,
color that. But at the same time, a lot of these colors can be quite harsh on the hair.
So you have to be very careful with the products that you put in. And again, it's like a catch-22 because you are very lucky because your hair, you're redhead, but for me, I have very dark hair and it shows quite often. So I do have to color my hair a lot more. And it is so harsh on my hair.
Right.
So I do have to make sure that my vitamins and also the products I use are very gentle for my hair because it does break it no matter what you do. And then try to style it differently, to cut it to be healthier because the dead roots on the bottom also don't feed the good hair, the quality hair that's coming out new. So kill out the dead, cut it out, and it'll be a lot healthier, a lot fuller.
I think a lot of women don't realize that a good haircut can make such a difference. Making it a little shorter or giving it, layers, anything like that can make it look, double the size and volume. It's incredible the difference a good haircut can make.
I think for women, for me, for vanity, it's very important for you to be seen, not even for others, just to look at yourself in the mirror and say, I still recognize this person. I'm still, with it, and I have my hair and stuff like that. So when people start losing and shedding hair, and it gets nerve-wracking, it gets very scary. But it's not the end of the world. It's just something is off and you can fix it. It's fixable.
Right. And women are so lucky these days with, I don't have them, but whenever I'm at the salon, I see all these, women getting hair extensions and things like that. So there are things, if it's really getting you down, that you can be doing cosmetically as well.
Yes.
As well as trying to fix
I think
the
it
health of your hair internally.
It helps internally, and it also helps your mood, uplifts you more because you're able to do something about it.
Oh, my hair is such a security blanket for me. And when it looks bad, it's amazing how it affects me.
It's not only you; it's so many. Me too.
Right.
It's like I can't go out. Look what I look like. Right. It's not so much my makeup; it's my hair.
Right. It's the bad hair day.
It's the bad hair day.
Right.
Everybody, we've had it for years, but now, the older you get, it's that bad hair day.
Right.
My husband's like, we're running out. And I'm like, no, we're not, because look what I look like. We're not doing anything until this looks better. He's like, you look fine. Yeah, of course you're going to say I look fine, but it's not. No.
Right.
No, but it's not only the hair. So now it's everything else. What about our skin too?
Oh, I don't know how you feel, but for me personally, once I came out of menopause, I saw a huge change in my skin and the texture of it, that it looked dull, that it looked flat. It didn't have any life anymore.
Yeah.
And the aging of it, of course, which none of us want. The lines are starting to appear more. I think women start to get more under-eye dark circles, which can make us look very tired.
And that is all biological. And a lot of women think that, oh my God, I looked in the mirror one day and it just appeared. No, this is something that's been building up for years. And it's like layer on top of layer on top of layer. And then once that top layer hits, you look at the mirror and it's going, oh my God, it's
Right.
not sudden. It is very subtle, but we just don't notice it until that main one
I was going to
hits.
say, it feels very sudden. Like
Yeah.
for me, it felt very sudden. Like I saw within a year a huge decline in
No,
the
but
way
it's
that
been
my
building
skin.
up as we age. It's natural age progression, but it's also it's our skin. It's getting the elasticity is changing, the collagen of it is changing. So
Right.
those are different things. So it's like every year, people don't realize after 30, every year we lose 1% of our collagen.
Wow.
What we make. So by the time we're in our mid to late 50s, we've lost between 20, 25 to even 30% of our collagen. So the elasticity of our skin, that collagen, it's not as bouncy, it's not as full anymore.
Right.
So that's why people is like, oh my God, what changed? That's what changed. So again, it's internal. It's nothing on the surface, it is internal. So you can fix that. More
Right.
collagen intake, obviously, because we're not producing as much.
Taking my collagen powder every
So
morning.
important. It is really, it does
Right.
really, it's not only for the skin, but I find it helps me with my bones and my joints. And I have arthritis in my hands. It's very helpful. It's amazing.
I saw a huge difference in my nail growth and
Yes.
strength with taking a collagen powder that I put in my coffee every morning. And it's also the skin looks so much more dull because it's not the turnover is not like it used to be. So it's sitting on your skin
The dead
a lot
skin.
longer. The
Right.
dead skin.
So we have a
yes.
lot of more dead skin. So we don't, and then a lot of people tend to exfoliate too.
Which is not good to do because
Not at
that's
this age.
over exfoliating is really, hurting the barrier, the base.
Yes, you have to understand it's like skin on top of skin. So be very gentle. I mean, you exfoliate. I exfoliate at least twice a week, but not every single day and not harsh.
And I think that's a lot of what a lot of women are doing is that they're thinking to get that glow to their skin that they have to do it every day.
No.
And you're actually destroying your skin barrier that way. I'm down to only once, maybe twice a week at the most
And that's
now.
correct. That's what my
Right.
dermatologist told me to do. And so there are other things that you can use. My morning routine, I do vitamin C in the morning.
So do I.
And I use retinol at night, and I use hyaluronic acid also,
Okay.
both morning and night.
Right.
So, and most important is an SPF. Oh my God, it is so important.
Right. Well, for someone, I grew up in New Zealand and we have a hole in the ozone layer above our country. So the skin is very harsh. And I grew up probably in the days I don't know what you were doing here, but in New Zealand, we were mixing baby oil and butter in the microwave together and, slathering it on our bodies.
I wouldn't do butter, but it was definitely baby oil,
Oh
not
my
butter.
gosh, I just think back now and I cringe. And of course, I was the redhead, so all I was doing was getting burnt, peeling, and freckling. I wasn't even getting any color that was slightly resembling, brown at all. But now, I've had 12 skin cancers, and I go to the beach. It's actually hilarious. I'll go to the beach with friends, and I'm the one that's in the big hat, and I'm under a canopy and trying to stay out of the sun. And they were all on their lounges, outside my canopy, and they're turning their lounges around for where the sun
Follow the
hits them.
sun, right?
Right, but I have to tell you, I have, a few friends now, their skin is looking like leather.
Yes. And that is my biggest peeve. It's like, why do you continue to do this to your skin? It's
Right.
not attractive. I don't think it's attractive.
No,
mean,
I
know
don't
if they
think
do.
so
I
at
don't
all.
think anybody thinks it's attractive, but it's like an obsession with the color. But when it gets to that point with leathery, and I know
Right.
a lot of people know what we're talking about because there's always somebody that you know that looks like that. And I'm not mean girling anything. It's just not healthy. It's not healthy.
And you're also getting an increase of sunspots, which again on our skin can look very aging.
Yes.
And we're lucky that we're in a day and age, but not everyone can afford to do it. There's things like lasers and things like that you can do to help. But if you can prevent
Yes.
it,
Of course.
and a lot of people are thinking, well, I'm not going to the beach, I don't need sunscreen. It's when you're getting the exposure mainly is like when you're driving or when you're walking a few blocks or you got out of your car and going in, into a store all of that time you're getting sun exposure and you have to protect your skin.
Yeah, that's what with SPF, for me, my moisturizer has to have a minimum of 30.
Right.
If that's like the minimum, if I don't add, but that should be the minimum for anybody. If you're not doing anything, if not wearing makeup, that's my base. And that's not even enough. Like I still cover up with hats and stuff like that, but that's the minimum. And also I want to go back to like the retinol, because everybody says, oh, retinol, it's like for skin and illumination. Be very, very careful with retinol.
Right. Well, for me personally, I've tried retinol. And I know you have to go through what they call those, a week or whatever of the uglies or something where your skin is adapting to it. But for me, it was too harsh.
Yes.
So, I did speak to my dermatologist, and there are other alternatives. There's retinol palomate, which is a gentler version of retinol. And there's also one called, I can never get this word right, Bacachol. And it's a plant-based derivative.
Yes, I've used that, and it's
Right.
excellent. It's really great.
Right, and it's great. So it's like as I said, plant-based, but it's without the drying.
Yes.
So there are alternatives to these things to get that, your cells turning over, the renewal.
It's very important for people to understand and remember that our skin is different now. We're older, but we have to use different methods to keep it more supple, more moisturized, more hydrated.
Right.
Because it is harder to do it at our age, but it's not impossible. You just have to be more attentive.
Well, I think, we start to lose that glow. And I think that's, again, why women are over exfoliating. And that sort of like leads into makeup. It's time at this age, get rid of all your matte foundations, your matte products. It's your skin is changing. So your makeup sort of needs to change with it. I know I got to a point where I would look in the mirror using the same makeup that I've used for many years, and it was just sitting there. It didn't do anything for my skin or how I was looking at all. So I found that by ditching all of that and getting into more hydrating products, more, foundations that are going to give you a glow.
Yes.
As I said, getting rid of the matte ones, using more things like cream products, cream blushes instead of powder blushes. All of those things are so much more important. We want to attract the light to our face.
Yes.
And when we're carrying more dead skin on our face, that makes it very difficult. So we're going to try and do it through makeup.
So a lot of people forget, and they think that like, oh, this was great. I've learned how to do it for my 30s, my 20s, my 30s, even my 40s. But right now, people have to understand that we're dealing with a different canvas. The canvas is not smooth.
Yes.
It's a lot harsher terrain.
A lot more textured.
A lot more textured.
A lot more, a little spotty. The new canvas is a little spotty.
Yeah, so we have to be very alert because, like you said, the powder lays and sits in the little spots and the crevices, and it just accentuates our lines more.
Right. Well, I think, in our 20s and 30s, we were using makeup to add definition.
Yes.
Okay. And now at this age, it's more about trying to sort of add some glow and some lift to your skin.
Like you said, light. We have to
Restoring
lift it.
light.
Light,
Yes.
because of the dullness, because of the dead skin and the aged skin and the different type of canvas. The dull, like the light in our skin has gotten like less luminant. So we have to illuminate it. So what do you think? Like, so a person like, what would you suggest for somebody like doing their blush, for instance?
Well, I think everything higher.
Yes, I want to up.
Yeah, up.
Gravity's already taken its control.
We want to lift the face.
I don't want gravity anything to work with. I want it going up.
Actually, I heard many years ago, and I've always thought about this, and it's when there's an artist and he is painting a woman's face, imagine the shape of the egg. So when you were young, the top part of the egg is the fuller part, and your face narrows down like the narrow part of an egg.
Right.
As we mature, that turns around.
Oh,
and
wow.
we start having the thinner part of the egg at the top of our face, and we get that fuller part round the bottom. So this is why we don't want anything accentuating down here. Forget the apples of your cheeks and things like that. Higher placement, higher blush, higher contour. We're wanting to lift now.
Yes.
And that's very important. So, your makeup style does have to change.
It does.
And the great thing for women these days is that you can go on YouTube, you can go online. There are so many videos on makeup placement for mature
women over,
women.
yes, exactly.
So take the time to learn and play around and see what works for you now.
And please, for God's sake, get rid of your products that you've been using for the past 30 years. Look up. It's there's
true.
there's very inexpensive makeup that goes for our type of skin. It doesn't have to be expensive. It just has to work with your skin type.
Yes.
That's
And
it.
doing it lighter as well. Heavier foundation.
Yes. It's going to sit in the creases.
Yes. So again, it's hard because we're getting sunspots, we're getting texture and everything, so that we think, oh, let's apply it a little heavier and it's going to cover. But what it's actually doing is it's aging us, and it's, sitting in the lines. And definition, brows and lashes, very important to define the eyes more. Our eyes tend to look a little tighter as we age. We're getting lines around the
Circles,
eyes.
yes.
So it's amazing playing up your lashes, your brows.
They stand out because they say like the eyes are the windows to the soul. So accentuates them.
Right. Give some definition to your face.
With some pop, exactly.
Yes, and again, they're that higher part of the face that we want to accentuate.
Let's go up. Let's go up. But so now, okay, so we've talked about hair, we've talked about skin, and obviously makeup on the skin. I think the biggest thing that people are really worried about right now, and everybody, not, whether you're thin, heavy, whatever, it's weight. What is going on with our body?
Well, I think our bodies are changing. And even if we're doing the same things, it's really hard because we're looking in the mirror and often we're not recognizing our bodies anymore. I mean, this midsection stuff is driving me crazy. Like, what's this tire I have around there now? And everyone, has different size tires, but generally women this age, a lot of us, unless we're sort of, in the gym 10 hours a day or something, a lot of us are getting these tires around
I think
our
it's just
middle.
a natural progression of tires, but I think it's the old rules of how we either, if it worked for you before, it's certainly not going to be working for you now. I am 100% positive that it's not working for you, and you don't understand why.
Right. And a lot of people think, oh, it's because I'm eating more, or it's nothing to do with that.
Nothing. And the thing is, it has to do with so much things that, like, our lower estrogen brings our love tires, those beautiful of fat storage, like you said, around the belly.
Yes.
Muscle loss. We said our muscles, as we age, we're losing muscle. So that, again, gaining more weight with muscle loss.
Right. Well, because muscle loss causes a slower metabolism.
Yes. And we're not going to be losing weight with a slow metabolism. So we have to keep our muscle up. So it's just, and then increase in insulin resistance. So that also, so the body thinks that we're in survival mode, so it stores more fat.
Right.
So that's just, and then higher cortisol. That's stress. That's a natural. Everybody's under stress. And when you stress, you tend to keep more fat around the belly. That's at least for women our age.
And I think that's a difficult one because with these declines in our hormones, a lot of women are finding as they're getting older that they're not able to handle stress as much as they used to. And also they have a lot more anxiety.
Yes.
So these things are happening, but also they're causing the weight gain and everything as well. So it's a really difficult spot to be for women.
Yes, but so we have to start changing our routines. What worked before? And for me, after having children, my weight changed dramatically, obviously, because the different metabolism.
And your shape changes
and your
too.
shape,
Not
obviously.
even sometimes your weight may not change, but your shape changes.
But then I finally got it to the point where, I know what I need to do to lose weight. And that was like my 30s, even my 40s. Great. And I was on track. And then I get hit with another thing and I don't know what to do. I'm working my butt off. I am counting. I was on keto forever. It worked. Whenever I wanted to lose like 5-10 pounds keto, everything comes off. But it wasn't working. It wasn't working.
Right.
And
So
I didn't
frustrating.
realize until I learned that it was because of my hormones. So I had to play by different rules.
Right. Your strategy has to change.
Exactly. So when I figured that out, it was like, oh my God, I wish I knew this sooner. So strength training is because cardio doesn't do what it used to do for you. Now it's strength training because I'm building up my muscle more. And in turn, my metabolism's increasing so I can lose the weight. It's like a cycle.
Right. And I think it's important. You do need the cardio as
You
well,
do.
just not to the extreme. When we were younger, I remember, I'd gain a bit of weight. Oh, I'd just, go for a run and I'd cut back a bit and, the weight would come off. Well, that doesn't happen. I feel like now I could literally starve myself for a year and I'd still gain
And
weight.
that's the wrong, right now at this stage, it's the wrong thing to do. So
Right.
it's like with strength training, you have to increase your protein intake because you have to feed the muscle. Muscle needs protein to increase. So that's, a lot of people don't understand that. So the rule of thumb is 1 gram of protein per body weight, which I think that you think is crazy. So it's like if you're 150 pounds.
That's my problem, trying to get all the
So
protein
if you're
in.
150
That's a
pounds,
lot
you
of
should be
protein.
taking between 120 and 150 grams a day, which is a lot. But like you could do protein shakes in the morning. I do a protein shake that's 40 grams in the morning, and then I do 2 eggs. I do about 50 grams in the morning, and then I break it up between my snacks, between like nuts, and then my other meals. I can reach maybe 100 during the day, 110 if I stretch it. I mean, 120 is a lot, but it does help. It really, really does help.
Right.
It also
does.
breaks down, like you're not snacking as much. You're more full.
That's the big thing I found. Now, see, for me, it's a little different than you because I'm a vegetarian. And so I'm trying to get my protein through, I make little overnight oats and I put yogurt with them. And I also put my protein powder in them, which is great. I have that every day. And I have a lot of, cheese. I have a lot of yogurt. But I
And
also
those are
have a
great
lot
for
of
protein.
beans and hummus and things like that. So, but it's a little harder for me, so I'm really working on that right now. Is trying to,
Yeah, but you're trying, at least, and
Right.
you're trying to reach them because you eat nuts too. So it's
Yes.
you're getting the intake, and for your body, it's you're not failing it. You're not going backwards and losing muscle. So at least you're
Right.
feeding the muscle. You can increase it definitely, but you can't go from nothing to 100 grams a day.
No,
That's
I've had to do that.
impossible.
I've had to do it slowly.
Exactly. You progress through it, but at least you're beginning to progressively go more, and you realize what you need to do.
Yes, definitely. And I think one thing we need to talk about too is that so many women, and this was myself as well, that when everyone tells us to strength train, can be really intimidating.
it's scary.
I had never strength trained before. Okay, so I just get this picture of my husband used to be in the gym doing all those huge heavy weights, and I didn't want to go to the gym, especially starting off. So I actually have just been doing it at home. And, I started off with, 3-pound weights, and then I went to 5. And right now I'm sort of doing 8 to 10 and building it up slowly. And, you can get on YouTube and social media, and you can learn. They show you exercises to do with the weights. So it doesn't even have to be like heading to the gym and, you were lifting 50 pounds. And it doesn't have to be that. It can be something you can be doing at home in just 20 minutes a day or something, and just, using free weights or even using your body weight is great
I was just
too.
going to say, your body is a great weight to use, for resistance. You
Right.
just need to move the muscle. That's the most important thing.
Right.
So another thing I want to talk about is a lot of women also find that like carbs are landing differently.
I love carbs.
I know
Oh,
everybody
just
loves
love
carbs, but the thing is, if you pair it with protein, because now a bowl of pasta is going to lay differently on your body or digest differently than it
definitely.
used to be. So if you pair it with, if you're eating carbs with protein, that's going to break down the carbs faster in your body. The body's not going to need to store it as fat. So just be alert and be aware of the things that work for your body and what your
Yes.
body needs at this point.
And if you're finding too that I found that when I ate large meals at night, I would feel very heavy and I would feel very sluggish the next day.
Yes.
So I'm trying to do my main meal in the middle of the day now. My lunch is my main meal. And then I have a much smaller meal at night. And that's really helping me as well. I'm finding that I'm digesting a lot better and I'm not waking up so sluggish.
Yes, exactly. And hydration. That's for God's sake, people. If you do nothing else,
Oh,
please,
that's a
please,
hard
please
one.
hydrate. And the most important thing is just not drinking. A lot of people are just
Right.
drinking like a gallon of water, but it's not. You need electrolytes.
So important. I don't like the taste of water
Yes, we know that.
at
I
all.
know that very well.
At all. So I put electrolyte in
Yes.
in all the water I drink
But
throughout
it's
the
so
day.
important because your body, your cells need nourishment. And that's the only way you can get through it. So you could be drinking a whole bunch of water. It's not benefiting you in any
Right.
way.
You just have to kind of check the ingredients as well and make sure that
Yes.
it's not a high sodium
Yes.
electrolyte, because the last thing we want to do is be bloating from it.
Exactly. So you're doing the opposite. You're
Right.
retaining the water rather than, helping your body. But also it's like, so just understand like all these factors, like your skin, your hair, your nails, everything, your weight is related to hydration.
Yes.
Everything, because our skin, our biggest organ in our body lives on, it survives on water.
Yes.
Or our organs survive on water. Our metabolism, everything just related back to water. And I know, like you, I was begging you for years. So, like, I don't like water. Oh my
I
God! It took
don't.
forever to convince
don't.
you that water was so important. You're doing fantastic, but it took forever because some people really do not like water.
I don't.
They really think that a Diet Coke is because it's a liquid. It's going to get them that hydration.
Yes, I've been guilty of that.
No, but or a tea. It doesn't do the same thing.
Right.
Pure H2O is very important.
Right. And another thing let's talk about is sleep regulation. That's so important for your weight as well.
Yes.
And if you're getting poor sleep, it's disrupting your hunger hormones as well, which again can lead to weight gain.
Yes. And our hormones love being regulated. So like if you sleep, set a sleep schedule, set a wake up schedule. And once you're on a schedule, your hormones react differently. But this stress, because again, it's like this waking up and sleeping for 4 hours and maybe I'll make it up. You don't make it up. I'm not going to make up my lack of 3 hours sleep the next day. It doesn't work that way. So you're going to be paying that price for the next couple of days because of the deregulation of like your hormones. Your hormones want to be, treated well. Like a child, put it to bed at a certain time and wake it up at a certain time. It'll love you forever.
But also it's difficult because, it's been proven that also as you age and your hormones are declining, you sleep a lot lighter.
Yes. It's
And
insomnia.
don't often sleep as long.
It's like
which
the
is,
menopause insomnia, I call it. I guess we both label it. It's like the menopause insomnia. We just don't know why. But I think a lot of factor is a lot of people think when you get to bed, it's your time to do like the doom scroll on your phone, and that blue light, it signals your brain that it's not nighttime, it's morning time, and we're still up. So it's not shutting down. It's going crazy. You need to calm yourself down before bed. I read. Or I listen to maybe even calm music or something that calms me. I do not want to have the light in my face, and I want shut total darkness.
Right. See, and as I like a hot shower.
I like that too, like at night, and then a cold shower in the morning. It's just kind of like revive myself. But yeah, everybody has a routine, but the worst one is thinking that like that TV's on or that blue light from the phone, that's going to wind you down. No, that's not.
And it's just finding what can help you get to sleep and stay asleep. It's funny, my daughter's home from college right now, and I went into her room this morning to wake her up, and she has one of those sound machines with the sounds of the ocean and things like that. Oh my gosh, it was so loud. I have no idea how she slept with that
Well,
thing.
that helps her.
But it helps her. I have a husband who snores.
Me too.
Oh my gosh,
Oh my
he
God.
snores. It's awful. So now I've got into a habit. I do have the TV on, but I have it on, very faintly, and that helps me go off to sleep. And I have an automatic switch off for it, so it does turn off. But it's just finding ways as well. You've got to experiment and find ways to help you get to sleep and stay asleep. And I think, a lot of women, I know that if I see a crack of light, I'm awake.
Me too. I have to have it totally. That's what's so saying of like the TV, because my husband can't sleep without the TV. He literally, so you turn it on, he falls right asleep, which is so bizarre. So I can't sleep with light, like you said. So I have my mask.
Right.
And I've gotten earplugs because
Oh,
once he
the
sleeps,
earplugs are a
that's
great idea. Women are
he
using them
snores.
for the snoring,
Oh my God. So I'm like, okay. So I'm just like shutting the world.
right?
So when sometimes he wants to ask something, I can't hear. Like he's like nudging me and I'm like, what?
I would be really interested to know how many women sleep in a different room or their husband sleeps
I
in a
do
different
sometimes
room
when it
because
gets
of the snoring.
crazy. It gets crazy when the girls aren't home. I go to a different room just to
Right,
get a full night's sleep
right,
because it gets crazy sometimes.
right. Because I hear it so often. All my friends are complaining
And
about it with their
it's not a
husbands.
bad thing. Sometimes it's like, you know what? I need a day off from you because you're driving me crazy. I need a good night's sleep.
Right.
It's just it's so bizarre. It's so bizarre.
I'm just nervous if I do ask him to go to another room that I probably won't want him back in there because I'll be getting such restful sleep.
Oh my God, that is so true. That's so true. But so like I think women are just like their appearance. I think the shock of the change makes people so nervous of like I am falling apart and I just don't know what to do.
Well, I think sadly, and look, we're all guilty of this, that appearance is often tied to how we see ourselves and how
Yes.
we feel about ourselves. And when we're having all of these things that are changing, it can really affect your mood. A lot of women start to suffer depression because of hormones, and then these things are added on top. So when everything, shifts so quickly, it can be very disorientating. It can be very overwhelming for women.
I think people think that they did something wrong or along the way, like a compound of everything they've done throughout their life has led them to this point where they're falling apart and it's irreversible. And
Right.
oh my God, I'm not. This is it. This is the end for me. And that's been the general consensus for midlife saying, it's over for it's not. I think the new view of midlife is it's not over. It's just a change and it's a biological change. It's nothing that you did wrong. Absolutely 100% not your fault. This is nature and we have to appreciate it, accept it, and give it what it needs to nurture it back to feeling our best. That's all. There's nothing wrong with us.
And I think that is a really good thing to realize. It is not our fault, and that things are happening in our body that are out of our control. And that's why it was so important that we did this podcast today. So to make people realize that it's not their fault, but to sort of give them some ideas and some helpful hints on how they can deal with it and what they can do to maybe make it an easier transition.
Yes. And I 100%, I think it was very important for me to do this episode today because I remember, like I said before, my aunts and my family members that have gone through menopause and they literally, it was like a doomsday thing that I was waiting for because for them, it was the end of, look, no, really,
Right,
like
it's true.
they
No,
made
I'm
it such
laughing
a
'cause
big
it's true.
deal. And it is a big deal, but I think it's not in a bad way. It is just an elevation. I feel it's like an elevation. I've come to my own into my own self, and I think I appreciate myself so much more. And I'm giving myself more grace and understanding who I am
Right.
at this level. And I don't feel their mindset at all. Like I'm thank God
That's great.
without their mindset.
Well, I think that's wonderful because that's where information becomes empowering.
Yes.
And once you understand the biology, then you can deal with it.
Exactly.
And you can understand it. You can understand what's going on.
And you can change it to the better. You're not feeling stuck. You're not feeling, unappreciated or this is my fault. I did something
you're
that
not
I broke
blaming
myself.
yourself.
Exactly.
Right.
I'm broken and I did it to myself. No, that's not what midlife is. It's an enlightenment period and it's something that is changing you and it's a great change. It is a great change.
Well, I think there's one thing that you and I have talked about that I think is the biggest change we can make to help us deal with all of
Yes,
that.
I know it is. I know what that is.
And this is mindset.
Mindset.
Changing our mindset, understanding what's going on with the biology of our bodies, stopping blaming ourselves and changing our mindset.
It's so important. And that we've talked about that several times. And that is the goal of this entire podcast, that's episode today is mindset, change your mindset.
Well, as we said, because you understand it more, you can do that. You're not just sitting there blaming.
Yes.
So, what are the fundamentals that you would say for changing?
I think understand what your body's going through,
Mm-hmm.
and then address it don't overwhelm yourself. Address it one by one. Like skin, you're changing, you're aging. Yes, but that is also biological. You have to fix it internally as well as changes to the skin surface itself.
So, adjusting your external routine,
Yes,
basically.
exhausting your external routine
Right.
and also adding your supplements to help your skin.
Supporting your body internally.
Exactly.
Right.
Hair.
And stop expecting old strategies to work on a new body.
Across the board.
Because this is
for
a new
everything.
body. Whether we like it or not, it's happening.
It's happening and it's happened. And
Right.
just adjust the new strategies one by one. Go down the list. What do you think is going on with you? And go down the list.
Right. Because it's not about fixing yourself. It's about changing your mindset.
And adjusting your new habits to a new routine that works for you right now.
Right. Changing your approach, adjusting your approach.
Exactly. And that's the most important thing, adjusting your approach. And find community that helps support you. That's the most important thing that we want to stress here. Because you're not alone. There's so many of us and you're not alone. Find somebody that understands just going through this and just talk to people.
And if you don't have anyone, go online, go on, come on. We're on Instagram, we're on TikTok. We're there to answer people's questions and to, give them information.
And we'll find, if we don't know it, we'll find you information for you.
Right, exactly.
Tina, I love you. And I'm so happy to be here all the time with you.
And you as well.
Well, thank you for joining us today. And we look forward to seeing you on our next episode.
Right, which is actually, I'm really excited. We've got a fabulous lady coming in for our next episode who's going to be talking about female entrepreneurship.
Yes, and that's exciting.
Right, and
she's reinvented herself.
She has reinvented herself. She's gone from the banking and finance world. She's been a stay-at-home mum, and now she's started a very successful cosmetic company. So can't wait to get her here with us next time and to really talk about and what's happening with her and to get some advice from her.
I'm so excited to talk to her.
I know, and I as well.
If you've been thinking what's happening to me, it's not the end, it's evolution. Your hair, your skin, your body, your mindset, it's all shifting because you're shifting. So stop fighting it and start stepping into who you're becoming because you're just getting started.
Thanks everyone for joining us.
Thank you.